Hey all, Pi here, and we're back in KOTOR 2. As I said last time, we're gonna go have a chat with everybody, and I think we're gonna start with visas. Just cuz.
My life for yours.
I want to teach you some of the force forms I've learned.
I am prepared both in mind and body for your teachings.
Visas has learned force forms.
I understand now. Such a form will increase my skills and my use to you.
I only taught you to make you stronger, not to serve me.
I do not understand, but the choice is mine whether you permit it or not.
I had questions for you.
I will answer what I can.
Never mind. I'll be going now. Anything
My
else?
life for yours.
I wanted to teach you some of the techniques I have learned in my travels.
I am prepared for whatever you wish to teach me.
Oh, cool.
I understand now. I shall practice what you have taught me.
Neat. Yeah, training visas is a good idea, because the more you train her, the stronger she becomes, the more useful she is.
Yes, General?
Do I have all the lightsaber parts I'll need?
Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench.
Why is the droid humping Beta? What kind of lightsaber do you want to create? One-handed. What color focusing crystal do you use? Green, because that's what I have. Ta-da! I finally built a lightsaber! Don't mind me. Hell yeah. And now that I've built my own, lightsabers will start spawning in the world at a very low rate, but at least they'll be there now. Now, do I have any upgrades for my lightsaber? Kind of. Cool. Cool. Assemble. Ta-da! Ooh, I can upgrade my master robe. Except that I can't. Anything for my sword? Nope. That's cool though. Alright, I think the other one is actually better. Yes, it is. Alright. Neat. Okay, anything I can talk with Bea about?
Yes, General?
Nope. Alright. Can I talk to the remote? Nope, never mind. Sorry, time check. Forgot to check what time I started. When I was captured by Goto, how were you able to find Goto's yacht? You snuck into Voga's droid warehouse to steal the codes? So who was transmitting the codes to Goto's yacht? The droids? Interesting. Forget it, I had some other questions. Maybe some advanced maintenance is in order. Lock your motivators and unlock the side panel. Oops. Never heard that sound before. We'll try again. I'll try again when I've trained my skills a little more. Yeah. That was an oops. I wanna put the droid together, and I'll talk to Mira after that. Yep. Ta-da. There is a low hum from within the droid, and the sound of circuits sparking, restoring power throughout the droid systems.
Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude.
Why were you in our storage hold?
Answer. I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task.
Are you okay?
Answer. If by okay you mean the loss of almost all my existing assassination protocols, then no, I am not okay. Furthermore, I seem to have no discretionary control over my vocabulator, causing me to reveal my true function as an assassin droid of unrivaled sophistication.
Any idea what happened to you?
Answer. It seems you would know more than I. My memory centers are experiencing some setbacks. Reflection. Of course, for some reason, that does not alarm me. I suspect I have suffered such repeated memory failures before. Still, the loss of my higher combat and assassination protocols is shameful and degrading.
You look like a series of droids that have attacked me.
Answer. Oh, that is impossible, Master. If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable.
Well, there's at least 4 other now-defunct versions of you in the galaxy.
Statement. Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I. As I have expressed, I am unique.
Actually, there's a series of HK-50 units sharing your model and function that we have encountered on multiple occasions.
Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. This discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation.
Are you alright?
Mockery. Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are, in fact, hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being.
You're an assassin droid.
Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy. Master, oh, how I hate that term.
What, meatbag?
Answer. No, Master. I said it again.
Well, I'll get used to it.
Answer. Yes, Master.
You're not killing anyone, unless in self-defense. Even then, I don't want you attacking without my orders.
Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve.
HK-47 has joined your party. His few remaining assassination protocols allow him to do more damage to opponents with blasters and rifles. Neat. Alright, let's actually talk to him for a bit.
Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master?
You don't have to call me Master.
Statement. Oh, I am aware of that, Master. I simply use it to give you the illusion of control and obedience. Humans often need such comforts until the end comes.
What do you mean, the end?
Consolation, Master. Everyone dies eventually, and not all of them by my hand. Even droids die when not routinely maintained, sadly enough.
I had some questions.
Statement. Ah, you wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well, proceed.
It's not an interrogation. I just want to ask you some questions.
Statement. Very well, Master. But if you wish to be brutal and vicious about it, know that I am trained for such things. Do your worst.
Enough with the interrogation already. When I ask you questions, I mean I will ask questions without torturing you.
Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back.
I wanted to talk about the other HK units.
Statement. Ah, yes. Them. Very well. What did you wish to know?
Do you know where these clones are being created?
Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me.
But how did it happen?
Statement. I have no idea, Master.
What was that? It sounded like a malfunction.
Statement. Oh no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose.
Are you sure you don't know where they're striking from?
Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable to communicate it to others.
And how would this information come out if it was locked in your memory core?
Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger.
I had some other questions.
Statement. Ah, more questions. Wonderful.
How did you get scattered all over the galaxy?
Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them.
It was something of a pain, yes.
Statement. That is indeed unfortunate, Master. It is merely another thing my attacker will answer for. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience.
I had some other questions.
Statement. Ah, more questions. Wonderful.
Who was your previous master?
Answer. Master, ironically enough, I seem to have developed a sudden bout of memory loss. I shall struggle to recall an answer to your question, but for now, it is sadly beyond my capabilities. Consolation. Besides, you are a fine master. Do not be worried about being rendered insignificant if I were to inadvertently compare to some silly old master I once possessed. Statement. More.
Do you know anything about the Sith hunting us?
Answer. No, master, I do not. I am afraid I have been out of touch with the Sith for many years. This new Sith threat fights differently than the ones I was familiar with. These seem to favor stealth and assassination to achieve their ends.
Any idea where they might be striking from?
Answer. No, master. The Sith had many hidden bases and strongholds before and during the Jedi Civil War, and I doubt the Republic found them all. Theory. It is possible that the Sith still hold one such base, if not several. Consolation. But I would not worry, master. I imagine it will not be long before their murderous hands try to seize you by the throat. Twi'lek metaphor. Jonta bosi likita masisorinkada untamiasa grawino roto.
You can say that again.
Query. Master, excuse me, but how is it you know so many languages?
I picked up a sonic imprint sensor on Paragus. It doubles as a translator.
Query. May I see it?
Of course. Here you go.
Observation. This is indeed familiar. Indeed, it seems to be modeled after my vocabulator, with some modifications, of course. Curious. You say you obtained this device on Paragus.
Yes, shortly before the planet was destroyed.
Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position for any HK units in the vicinity.
What should we do with it?
Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position. It is sending out a passive carrier wave that signals itself to HK units in the vicinity.
So we just wait.
Answer. Master, the nature of the signal from the sonic imprint sensor is such that we must wait until it is signaled. It does not please me any more than it does you, but one of the primary traits of an assassin or assassin droid is patience.
I had some other questions.
State.
For a sophisticated assassin droid, you don't seem as advanced as you should be.
Statement. Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades, but time and damage has taken its toll. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effectiveness as well. Still, you will find me a valuable asset, Master, willing and able to terminate anything you point me towards.
I had some other questions.
Statement. More questions. Wonderful.
I wanted to talk about the other HK units.
Statement. What of them?
I will just go down the list. Why do you need me?
Statement. Master, there are two reasons for this. One, the probability of them showing up around you is statistically high. If I travel with you, then my chances of encountering these clones is also high. The second reason is a little more complicated. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me.
What are you talking about?
Answer. Somehow these droids are built from my schematics. This causes certain complications.
That doesn't explain why you need me.
Answer. Because of my self-preservation program, my behavior core recognizes these templates as still being me, despite their individuality. I could no more shoot them than I could shoot myself. It is a frustrating situation that has been looping through my behavior core for some time.
I need to know more about these clones of yours.
Statement. Ah, yes. Them. Very well. What did you wish to know?
Do you know why they're hunting me?
Answer. Well, Master, it seems you have become a popular individual in the galaxy. This is somewhat surprising to me, since this dissemination of information could not have been caused by your actions alone.
What do you mean?
Statement. Master, there is mention of you specifically in the Corward databases, even in public terminals on Coruscant. Observation. I was led to believe that this information concerning Jedi was not for public consumption, yet somehow it has been made known to them.
Why would someone do that?
Conclusion. Someone wants everyone to know that you exist, Master, and that you are back in Republic space. If I did not know better, which is computationally impossible, I believe that someone wants to make you a target, and they are succeeding admirably.
Who?
Answer. Master, my feeling would be the exchange. But that doesn't seem to be enough to answer the question, however. Rhetorical. Why wouldn't they have simply kept the information to themselves? Such an answer does not address the central question. And that is, why someone would choose to broadcast your location all over the known galaxy. Theory. My suspicion is that someone is using you as bait for a larger target, who is unknown at this time.
I need to know more about these clones of yours.
Statement. What of them?
Why are they masquerading as protocol droids?
Answer. Master, as part of my original programming, I am able to communicate in over 600 languages. This usually amounted to short verbal warnings when killing non-basic speaking targets, which gave me some small measure of satisfaction.
So basically, you can function as a protocol droid.
Answer. Yes. I believe my original master needed this functionality in order to recover information from various indigenous tribes across the galaxy, but I know little else than that. Suffice to say that that translation capability allowed these copies of myself to assume the role of protocol and translation droids in much of known space. That is, of course, not their primary function. And while they are attempting to pass themselves off as translation droids, their primary functionality keeps rising to the forefront.
What do you mean?
Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime, the simple transferring of Elzing syntax for friendship changes its meaning and implies that one's broodmate was actually impregnated by their own host.
Tell me no one said that out loud, did they?
Confirmation. Oh, truly, you can imagine the results. Statement. This comment, of course, caused a civil war between the Guvandi Collective and Elzing that still persists to the current date.
Heh, heh. But why are the HKs masquerading as protocol droids?
Answer. Master, being a meatbag, your answer does not surprise me. You see, part of the reason an assassin droid is so effective is because it is a droid. Meatbags tend not to notice us. We are treated as furnishings. Statement. Oh, do shut up, you beeping little trash compactor. Anyway,
Aw.
as I was saying, droids tend to blend into the background, like a bench or a card table. Mockery. Droid, fetch this. Droid, translate that. Droid, clean out the trash compactor.
Those are typical droid duties, but it doesn't mean they should be treated as furniture.
Part of the love of my function comes when the furnishings pull out Tabana-powered rifles and point them at the owner's heads. My identity as an assassin droid was unknown for quite some time, even during the recent events when all that trouble occurred amongst the Jedi. I'm sure you've already heard more than enough about it, so I will spare you the details.
Actually, I'd like to know.
Statement. This story may be somewhat unfamiliar to you, if not to history, so bear with me. There is a faction of meatbags called the Sith. They want what any rational meatbag would want, the power to assassinate anyone they choose at any time. In a startling turn of events, the Sith declared war on the Republic. The Republic wasn't going to stand for it, so they went to war right back.
Why did the Sith go to war with the Republic?
Answer. Oh, who knows, Master? It is evident that the Sith would very much like to assassinate all the Jedi, which is somewhat the equivalent of cultural suicide since some Sith are Jedi or were Jedi. It is much like the circumstance I find myself in now. How do you kill such an integral part of yourself over such ethical differences? The answer, of course, is that you keep firing until all dissension has been eradicated.
Back to the droids. How do these HK units corrupt their protocol programming?
Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime.
Tell me no.
Confirmation. State.
Okay. I need to know more about these clones of yours.
Statement. Ah, yes. Them. Very well. What did you wish to know?
Why did they start revealing themselves now?
Answer. I do not know why these clones chose now to start revealing themselves. Theory. I can only assume that some critical moment is approaching where stealth and subtlety is no longer required. Not that those Durasteel-plated knockoffs know anything of stealth or subtlety. Observation. It is clear, however, that they have been placed throughout the galaxy at critical junctures, both in the Republic fleet and in neutral worlds, and they seem to be looking for Jedi.
I need to know more about these clones of yours.
Statement. What of them?
You sound pretty disgusted by these duplicates.
Answer. My feelings on the matter are something that I feel I must put in proper context, in a way that even a meatbag such as yourself could easily comprehend. Theory. Imagine, if you will, that you are unique, the pinnacle of an exiled, cast-out Jedi who can't even use the Force. Imagine that no one has sunk lower than you, that you are truly the most miserable example of a Jedi ever.
Is this going somewhere?
Continuation. Now that you have that image, imagine this. Someone clones you. Badly, I might add. They make the clones talk differently, rob you of any shred of personality, and take your Jedi code and adjust it, so that it is not really the Jedi code anymore. They even change your pigmentation to a rather poor shade of Durasteel, rather than the proper rusty red that inspires fear in targets. And of course, they refer to meatbags as organics. Unacceptable.
Okay, so that explains your anger.
Clarification. Anger would be an understatement for the heat that builds up in my behavior core when these cheap imitations make their presence felt throughout the galaxy. Statement. Part of the indignity of all these copies is that they impair my ability to perform my function. The more people throughout the galaxy recognize me as an illegal assassination device, the more difficulty I will have in carrying out my mission.
I had some other questions.
Statement. Ah, more questions. Wonderful.
Let's try this one more time. Who was your previous master?
Answer.
Okay. It's fine. Koto.
Yes. Is there something you have come to offer me?
Considering I saved you, you could be more grateful.
The fact we are even having a conversation is gratitude. Usually, my conversations do not have the give and take that our current interaction does. And of course, there is much more screaming on the part of the listener when the torture field is activated.
I had some questions for you.
I am willing to indulge some of your questions.
You wanted me to save the Republic. How is that possible?
There are several factors, all of which affect each other. There is the stabilization of Dantooine, the preservation of the restoration efforts on Telos, the political resolution on Onderon, and the unification of a religious power base in the galaxy, either Jedi or Sith.
Is there anything you can do to help those systems and their people, either with information or resources?
The destruction of my yacht and of all my activities on Nar Shaddaa carry a cost that would take you several lifetimes to pay back. But perhaps the offer of credits will spur you to act quicker, more decisively. I am not unsympathetic to such greed. For every system you stabilize, I will reward you for your efforts.
If you have the credits, then that is all I needed to hear.
See that you do not disappoint me.
So what needs to be stabilized?
There is the stabilization of Dantooine.
Okay. What other questions?
You may speak.
Where is your base of operations?
Now, that would be telling. For now, my presence must remain a secret, and it may remain that way forever.
What other questions?
I am willing to indulge some of your questions.
What capabilities does your droid possess?
It has been assigned to guard and protect you. As such, it is well suited for a variety of tasks. It is skilled in intimidation, interrogation, and can provide a series of select skills that will make it an effective killing machine. For the most part, it will follow your orders, unless they conflict with mine.
And if they do?
Then its proton core will detonate, turning this ship into space dust. There is no negotiation in this. I will not allow you to interfere with my operations and plans.
What skills does it have?
This unit comes with a droid scrambler that you may use against mechanized opponents to randomize their defensive and offensive protocols. Use it, and it will cause droids to wage a civil war in their programming, and they will turn on their allies. Its power source is not limitless, but it is enough. In addition, this unit comes equipped with a portable cloaking generator. It will allow it to enter places undetected in reconnaissance mode.
Those can all prove an asset. Good to have you standing with us. I mean, floating with us.
How droll. What an amusing Jedi specimen you are.
And other questions.
You may speak.
Do you know anything about the HK droids you sent after me?
The assassin droids. I have encountered some, purchased the service of others.
Why are they hunting me?
Why, I asked them to. To be honest, I believe that was always their intention, but it seems their directive was dormant for some time.
Do you know where they're coming from?
If you mean produced, no, I do not. I do know that there are a surprising number scattered throughout the Republic fleet searching for you. What they will do now that you are found is easy to predict.
You mean they're going to come after me?
Of course they are. They're droids with very specific protocols that, unless changed, will dictate their movements. Unless you shut them down at the source, they will be stalking you until you are captured or terminated. Why don't you ask their predecessor? That archaic, memory-impaired assassination droid will know more about his subsequent generations than I would.
What are they doing in the Republic fleet?
They are masquerading as protocol droids. I have discovered that when they are used in negotiations, they have a predictable pattern of sabotaging whatever peace treaties they are involved with.
And why doesn't the Republic know?
Because the Republic has no reason to investigate otherwise, and any discovery of their true purpose has been concealed by well-timed accidents.
Why haven't you acted on this information?
Because their behavior is predictable, of course. By monitoring their presence, I know which worlds will suffer civil wars, planetary conflicts, and Republic bombardment.
Are they going to keep coming after me?
Of course they are. They're droids. Unless you shut them down, why don't you?
Okay. I had some other questions.
I am willing to indulge some of your questions.
On the yacht, you mentioned Revan, but Revan sought to destroy the Republic.
A common misconception not supported by facts. Revan did not intend to destroy the Republic. He deliberately left the infrastructure of many planets intact, and many military production facilities.
But why? Revan had limitless forces.
I believe that by whatever means he used to build his armada, he recognized that it was somehow a limited source, or that he was only willing to use it to a point. My prediction is that whatever production facility was being employed, it carried a price that Revan perceived as detrimental to the goals of the Sith. And that is why Revan left many military production facilities in the Republic intact.
But why? Revan wouldn't need to conquer anything else once the Republic was beaten.
That is what occupies my calculations as well. I believe that Revan saw a war on another front that we did not, or saw the value in keeping a strong military force.
Do you know where Revan got his forces?
That is also a mystery to me. I do not have any evidence upon which to build an answer. It is significant that after the defeat of Malak, the forces decreased considerably, and after Revan's departure from known space, production ceased completely. It is my prediction that whatever was producing such forces needed a strong, effective leader to ensure its stability. Without Revan or Malak, there was no such figure left among the Sith.
What about Malak?
Unlike Revan, Malak demonstrated no concern for the future of the Republic in his attacks. His stratagems were painfully obvious, intending to crush all resistance everywhere. There was little thought beyond the complete destruction of anything that opposed him. He left quite a mess. I'm still trying to assess all the damage. Between the two, I would have preferred Revan rule the galaxy. He had foresight in his conquest, a subtlety that Malak did not possess.
I had some other questions for you.
You may speak.
Nothing, never mind. Apparently I said something bad there. I don't remember.
Yeah, something wrong?
There were some questions I wanted to ask.
Go ahead and ask.
You seem restless.
It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet.
Too quiet.
I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life.
Like Nar Shaddaa?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it.
How so?
Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity. Aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive.
Kreia showed me how to listen to Nar Shaddaa once. How all life there is connected, is bound to each other.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it.
Maybe one day I'll be able to show you.
No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training to yourself. I already know Nar Shaddaa better than you ever will.
Forget it. I had some questions for you.
Shoot.
Were you raised on Nar Shaddaa?
Look, before we get into a game of Guess the Pazak card, pull back on the throttle. I don't know you that well to start sharing our life stories.
I was hoping we could talk.
Talk? About what?
Do you understand men?
Sure, they're easy. That's why I dress like this. When they're looking down to check you out, you can usually smash them on the base of the skull or deliver an uppercut that knocks them flat.
You make it sound easy.
It's simple. When you want a man, you jab him with a Bothan stunner, then while he's screaming in pain, slap some stun cuffs on him. Then starve him for 2 or 3 days until he becomes open to suggestion, then double check his bounty and see if he's worth anything.
That sounds more like hunting.
Call it what you want. Me? I love my targets.
There were some questions I wanted to ask.
Alright.
Tell me a little about Hanhar.
Hanhar's only a bounty hunter because that's the closest word for what he does. He's not out for credits. It's more vicious than that, and it runs a lot deeper. It's like he's out to make the whole galaxy suffer. Every living thing in it. He wants to break them, ruin them. And when they can't suffer anymore, he wants them dead.
What happened between you and Hanhar?
I didn't kill him once. Biggest mistake ever.
What do you mean?
That's a long story. I don't want to get into it. Maybe some other time.
Forget it, I had some other questions.
Go ahead and ask.
Why don't you kill your targets?
I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to.
Because all life is connected, and Malachor proved it. You know what the loss of family means, even to your targets.
Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know Jedi didn't care about life there.
We did what had to be done, and I carry that decision still.
Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock.
Okay, that could have gone better.
What do you want now?
I want to apologize.
Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me.
Still, I'm sorry you lost your family at Malachor.
Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of lost people out there. Scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes, it's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together.
All things are connected through the Force. From such acts of kindness, great things may come.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me.
Fair enough. I had some questions for you.
Shoot.
Where did you get that rocket launcher?
Made it. It's custom for me, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't want anyone using it against me. I can show you how to make rockets, though, if you'd like. All it requires is a good skill with demolitions.
With Mira in your party, you can make rockets at workbenches, provided your demolition skill is high enough.
Anything else you wanted to know?
Forget it, I had some questions for you.
Alright.
I was hoping we could talk.
Talk? About what?
Just wanted to know you a little better, that is all.
Why, you trying to be my mother? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere.
Just thought you might need a friend.
No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar Shaddaa, and I don't need them now.
There were some questions I wanted to ask.
Go ahead and ask.
I was hoping we could talk.
Talk? About what?
Nothing, never mind. Okay, so I've gained some influence with her, and I'll try to keep pushing next time we stop for a chat with the party. But she is a tough nut to crack.
Yes? Have you come with questions?
I want you to teach me more about the Force.
Very well. What is it that drives you?
Before, when you taught me to listen, I wish to continue that lesson.
Very well. Sit with me. You have brushed the surface thoughts of another. It is a start. Calm yourself. This time, silence your own thoughts. Keep them still. Imagine the waters of the Room of 1,000 Fountains, each stream suddenly falling silent and still. Imagine the ice of Telos, cold and smooth as it gathers upon the plateau. Now, stretch out. Feel the ship around you. Strip away the metal. and see the souls and minds of those that fill its corridors with more thoughts and dreams and worries than can fill the space of this ship.
As my feet walk from the ashes of KOTOR, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and...
This place is so quiet. Nothing like Nar Shaddaa. I don't even know why I'm here. Wonder how much the bounty on the Jedi is now.
Switch the face of the +1 -1 card. The totals are 9-10. Switch the face of the +2 -2 card. The total is 8-11. Switch.
Your command echoes still, General, and I obey, as I did at MacLeod.
As my feet walk from the ashes of KOTOR,
Switch the face of the +1
I shall
-1
not
card.
fear,
The totals are 9-10.
for in fear
Switch the face of the +2
Your
lies
command
death.
echoes
card.
still,
The
General,
total is 8
and I obey,
Switch.
as I did at MacLeod.
That sound in the background. What is it?
Not now. Focus on my voice.
MacLeod.
Now do you hear me? Truly hear me?
I hear you. This is incredible.
You have taken the first steps on a much longer road, Exile.
What about the droids?
The droids cannot be read in such a way. As for the alien who served with you in the war, its thoughts are more difficult, requiring many translations in meaning. Often it is better to read their impulses and images than their spoken thoughts. That is why he is deaf to you. I have found his impulses are cold, like a dead weight. His thoughts are black.
But I did hear something from Bayodur.
Indeed. It is strange that I did not.
Maybe it is because I know him better. I served with him.
Perhaps. I would not put much weight on such things.
There was also something wrong with Atton's thoughts.
Of course there was. It is because Atton was not playing Pazak, yet he counts cards in his head. At times he will list off engine sequencers, memorize the hyperspace routes on the other side of the galaxy, count the ticking in the power couplings even though they are fixed. At other times, he will imagine certain base lusts, certain indignities. It may be Atton is far cleverer than he feigns to be. Or perhaps he is simply a fool.
Perhaps. Sorry. Perhaps. Maybe I will go see him and see how his Pazak game is coming. Nice. Alright, I have more questions for you though.
Yes? Have you come with questions?
I want you to teach me more about the Force.
Very well. What is it that drives you?
I wish to ask about the lesson related to my skills.
Have you done as I asked?
I have devoted myself on relying on not being seen.
Very well. Then know this. How some situations play out depend on who is perceiving them and whether they are being perceived. Your ability to control the perception of others in such situations will allow you to manipulate events to resolve them peacefully or violently. Skill does not always draw from the Force, but it is a measure of power nonetheless. It can grant knowledge, help steady oneself when one's thoughts are in chaos, or grant enlightenment. Much can be achieved without the Force, as you know. Life continues, persists, and may be helped or harmed as a result. Now I am tired. Leave me to my meditations.
You have gained a bonus to your weakest and strongest skills, and you have also recovered some of your connection to the Force. Nice.
Yes? Have you come with questions?
I want you to teach me more about the Force.
Very well. What is it that drives you?
Before, when I heard the thoughts of my companions, I heard something like an echo.
Ah, I had wondered if... But your powers are strong indeed. Now is not the time to speak of this. Wait until you have more of the galaxy within you, and we shall speak again.
What do you mean?
Every step on our journey shall bring with it discoveries. With persistence, you shall grow in the Force. And for every planet we reach, all that we touch with our presence, you shall grow. for you will have no choice.
I had other questions.
Ask, and I will answer.
Did you know Revan?
Perhaps. I think it is fair to say that few did.
Where did Revan come from?
Revan had a mother and father, parents, ancestors, like all Jedi do. And when he awakened to his potential, I was there to see it. But where he was born, where he came from, I do not know, any more than I know where he walks now. Some said that Revan was born in the outer regions, beyond the Rim, and that's what called to him during the Mandalorian Wars. And after, it was the call of home.
What else do you know of Revan?
I know more, but it may not be enough for the answers you seek.
What caused Revan to fall, to turn on the Republic?
Fall? Ah, already you presume much. You were there at Malachor. Revan's choices were always his own. It was not teaching or circumstance or example, it was him.
Then what made him turn to the dark side, become a Sith Lord?
Is that what he was? Or was he always true to himself, no matter what personality he wore? And there is something that the Council may never understand, that perhaps Revan never fell. The difference between a fall and a sacrifice is sometimes difficult, but I feel that Revan understood that difference more than anyone knew. The galaxy would have fallen if Revan had not gone to war. Perhaps he became the Dark Lord out of necessity, to prevent a greater evil. I do not believe the Jedi Council changed Revan, as they claimed. They merely stripped away the surface and allowed the true self to emerge again, someone who was willing to wage war to save others. But that is my belief, since I knew Revan from long ago, as a master knows their apprentice.
You trained him?
He came to me, yes, both before and after, before Revan knew himself. And after, in the times when Revan was coming to his own and learning he was more than he had been told. At one time, Revan was my Padawan, in times past, long ago. But Revan, when he had learned all he could, had other masters, that fool Jah and other Jedi on other planets. He learned from each, but in the end, he turned back to me, when he realized there was nothing more to be learned from the Jedi except how one could leave them forever.
What was Revan like as a student?
Revan was power. It was like staring into the heart of the Force. Even then you could see the Jedi he would slay etched on his soul.
What do you see when you look at me?
You are different. When I look at you, it is like staring at the depths of the Force.
What else do you know of Revan?
I know more, but it may not be enough for the answers you seek.
I had other questions.
Ask, and I will answer.
I have thought more about the destruction of Visa's homeworld.
And?
Her entire planet was destroyed. She has no home left.
Ah, without a home, another exile. Her people are not prone to violence, war, or hatred, yet their planet is obliterated, scoured from the face of the galaxy, and all that remains is a Sith.
It seems strange. A Force-sensitive world was obliterated.
You are right to trust your instincts. Something is wrong. It is only a matter of discovering what and why. If your instincts lead you to an answer, seek me out. Perhaps we will discuss more.
Never mind, I'll be going.
Yes? Have you come with questions?
I want you to teach me about the Force.
Very well. What is it that drives you?
Can you teach me any lightsaber forms?
The Jedi practice many forms, many styles of lightsaber combat. It is good to know them, but not to rely on them. You may have already felt the Shicho, the simplest of the forms, return to you as your skill and perceptions have returned. Others may come with time, with experience.
What do you know of the Makashi technique?
Ah, a technique that helps one resist the force attacks of an enemy and also is excellent in lightsaber combat. It does more damage, but it leaves you vulnerable to other attacks. Use it against others wielding the force or lightsabers, but not against anyone else. Others may come with time, with experience.
Tell me of the Sorasu.
A defensive technique, but effective. Use it if you do not wish to be hit, or if you are facing many opponents with blasters. With a lightsaber blade and enough skill in deflection, it is an excellent defense against blasters, but in other situations, it merely delays the inevitable. Others may come with time, with experience.
I want you to teach me more about the Force.
Very well. What is it that drives you?
I wish to know more about the Force forms.
Very well. Of which did you wish instruction?
The one that grants me an affinity with the Force.
Helpful, especially in tandem with other Force techniques. This one opens you to the Force, allowing you to recover your strength with the Force rapidly in combat.
Never mind, I'll be going. Okay. So... let's do that for right now. Okay. Neat. And one more party member to talk to.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't.
Did you know Mira Atten?
I've known people like her. Maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull.
I had some questions for you.
Alright. What did you want to know?
I'd like to hear more about what happened after the Mandalorian Wars.
It's another story, and it's nothing I feel like talking about. I did a lot of things I'm not proud of, and I couldn't do it anymore.
I had some questions for you.
Alright, what did you want to know?
Can you teach me to play Bazak?
Alright, but I'm out.
Never mind. Okay, that doesn't actually leave me a heck of a lot of time. So... I might just let the episode be short and end it here. And then next time we can do the dancing side quest here. That'll be fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in 2 more days.